y'all, hey, welcome back to Thailand Ducksworth Reviews, and today we are going to be reviewing Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16 episode 16, Chicken and Waffles, which was a hot ass mess from beginning to end. Before we do that, y'all, I've been sick, so I am behind, but we gonna catch up together, okay? So I mentioned that because I missed episode 14 and 15 actually, but I'm not going back to 14. So I will give just a quick recap of the big moments. Episode 15. Ooh, just pretty much real quick, we had the Grenada Jab Jab celebration. We had the ladies oiling up their bodies for that Jab Jab party. And Auntie Cynthia, in true survival mode, baby, she made her hair condom, her tights to protect them faux locks. And girl, I got my starter locks here, so I understand completely. It's time for a retouch already. But anywho, y'all, honestly, can we say innovation? That was very creative, okay? Then we got Kelli versus Brit and this whole glam squad fallout. This just exposed y'all fake ass friendship. We see in episode 16 where she mentioned they have been friends for about a year. Girl, when we start calling people our very, very best friends that we've only known for a year. From the looks of it, it seems like you guys don't hang out outside of filming. So what they do that at? Glam Squad drama popped off. Kelli told Brit, you know, she's done sharing glam because Brit was getting too comfortable. Brit was looking like, girl, I thought we were sisters. Because you can tell Brit gives that vibe where she wants to share everything. You can tell she's just too comfortable. She's erratic. She pops off. She's very emotional. The way she was frustrated at the dinner table. Then she all in Shamia's face. I love you and we're all here for you. And I'm going to be here for you. And you're like a sister to me. And no matter what you... Girl, that was the biggest performance. Like Drew said, she just took center stage. Y'all say I'm the actor. Girl, stop it. Like I say, you putting her titties all on the counter and stuff. It's like she doesn't know who to be. You're just inauthentic, Brit. The after show, we had Shamia shade. Shamia, you have been such a disappointment as a new peach holder. You proved that, girl, money cannot buy class. I'm going to get on her later because I've been went off in a rant. Shamia called Drew a bug because apparently it's obvious that, girl, you are jealous of Drew and the opportunities and accomplishments that she has received. And Kelli said when they was out in Grenada and they went to the house for the cooking lessons that Drew was looking for bug spray the whole time. Girl, the audacity. Like, what is your issue? Drew hasn't done anything to you. And from the looks of it, you and Portia are not on good terms. So where is this energy coming from for Drew? I can only come to the conclusion that you jealous. You jealous as hell. Anywho, Kelli, she works on my nerves. She another pick-me, people pleaser. She Shamia lapdog. Like, what is happening? She lies on Angela, you know, the comment, she tells Shamia, Kelli tells Shamia that Angela was turned on by them chefs in Grenada. Girl, that is not what happened. That is not what happened at all. She was saying that all the men in Grenada is fine, girl. And she was like, Angela married, y'all can hold our bags. Angela and Brit was standing in the back. She and Drew was up at the table where the guys were making the food. Oh. Then she goes on to say, hi, babe. How was work? Right. Sorry about that, you guys. Go to your daddy. Anywho, she goes on to say, God dog, my husband just came home from work and I lost my train of thought. Kelli line talking about Angela was turned on by the chefs. Girl, Shamia, she gets in the van and immediately gets the mess started by telling the ladies, because they were in two groups of the Sprinter vans. So I believe it was Cynthia, Shamia, Portia, and Phaedra, yeah, in one van. And in the other van, it was Brit, Kelli, Drew, and Angela. I might have it wrong. Anyway, Shamia gets in the van and immediately gets the mess started by telling the ladies that Brit gave a small donation, a small box with toilet tissue and paper towel, one roll of paper towel at that. After Shamia called her out, she then sent a cash app of $250, and Phaedra was like, oh, no, ma'am. At this level, never less than $1,000. I said, girl. Because she was saying something about that we go to the nail shop and we spend $200 to $300 on our nails. How you going to send a $250 donation? That's because Brit doesn't know what she's doing. She was a fan. She watched this show, and she's trying to be something she's not. And that's why she hasn't connected with the people. And then that whole situation that she created in her mind with Kenya, that just further alienated everybody. Because it's like, girl, you messed up the season. And then you're not giving anything. And you messed up the season. Like, girl, bye. We get over to this dinner scene. Tensions rose between Shamia and Brit. Kelli mentioned a house where they had their cooking lesson was hit by Hurricane Earl. And I'm not saying that we're going to give to them, but goes to show how important that giving is. And she started thanking the ladies. I'm happy we all were able to come together and we were able to give donations. And then Portia expressed her happiness in giving and highlighting, you know, again, that they're successful women. They should band together to help others. And she also mentioned that she donated $1,000. Hey, when I tell you that tension was already so thick you could cut it with a knife, you could see Brit eyes shifting and just moving. Brit, you are just all kinds of out of order. Baby, Portia just opened the door for Shamia to come in. You can't pull up in a Birkin and Rolls Royces and Bentleys and then not really give, you know, when it counts. This is the time for you to do your big one. And I totally agree. So Brit was like, that felt like a little shade to me. And Shamia was like, oh, you think I'm shading you? Duh. So then she said, if I was shading you, you would see it, you would hear it, you would feel it. Shamia, you shaded her. She caught the shade, and that's why she is calling you out on your bullshit. But you are sneaky, you a coward. And you couldn't even stand on business when it counts. Because that was a positive situation, a donation. Every woman at that table, the viewers, we all knew you were talking about Brit. But instead of being a woman and owning your shit, you decided to play in Brit face, in our face, talking about she not the only one with a Birkin or a Rolls Royce. So Brit was like, but I'm the one who pulled up with a Birkin and a Rolls Royce. Girl, Shamia, are you present? Like, are you here? Did you know you missed shot o'clock? Did you have too many drinks? Do you not understand what the hell is going on? And so Brit told Shamia, girl, you being passive aggressive. And I'm like, she been passive aggressive. Girl, Shamia is a pick me. Girl, let me get off her because I just go on the whole rant. Like I said, it was her wealth that drew people in. I just thought she was a nice person. I knew from, was that episode 1? Yeah, that rolled into episode 2. The way that she went at Drew on behalf of Portia. She turned me off way back then, and I was like, something ain't right with her. Shamia, she portrays herself as this peacemaking Christian woman. At the beginning of the season, she was talking about her, when they was asking her what her role was going to be amongst the ladies. She was talking about she's the glue that holds everyone together. Girl, the lie detector test indicated that that statement is false as hell. It's a lie, a bold-faced lie at that. Shamia is messy. She is a coward, and we all know she does not mind telling a lie when she is called out. And in some respects, y'all, I have to honestly say, Shamia and Portia, they share similarities. It is evident why they have been friends this long. I realize now, and I don't know if everybody else does, that Shamia is more like Portia hell than Portia is like Portia. Let's get on over here to season 16, episode 16. So we kick off with Shamia taking Shia and baby Shiloh to the pediatrician. Shia was singing Shamia's song like she was headlining a tour. I said, she is so cute. Shamia tells the doctor that she thinks that Shiloh may have caught strep throat because she got back from Grenada. She started antibiotics 3 days ago. She was worried because Shiloh had a sound that they had never heard before. She called Gerald on the phone. That seems like a thing they do between them. When he takes the kids to the doctor, he FaceTimes her and vice versa. Shamia starts, she back on this. Gerald is an excellent father. He deserves a son and she wants to give him a son. She reveals that they did proceed with, what's the young lady's name from, what is her? Asha. They went ahead with the embryo transfer with Asha, but it failed. And now her and Gerald talk and they decided that they were going to put their baby making plans on hold until they figure out what to do next. Now, let me just say this. Excuse me just a second, I gotta get a sip. Gerald is 63 years old, y'all. Their oldest child is 7, that's Shia. Well, at least at filming. I don't know how old she is now. And I want to say that everything in this video is alleged. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Sorry about that. I know that was impromptu. But anyway, let me say this. Gerald is 63. Their oldest child is 7, and as far as we know, Gerald does not have any other children, okay? Besides Shia and Shiloh, okay? I don't believe this whole baby boy business is Gerald's priority. I believe that this is all Shamea trying to feel secure in their marriage. Gerald he strikes me as grateful to have the two beautiful daughters that they have been blessed with. And for Shamea, is giving insecurity, not necessity. Now, I'm not saying that I don't believe that Gerald, because in African culture, they do want sons. I'm not saying that he didn't mention this to her at all. What I am saying is that I don't believe that Gerald is the one that's pushing the issue now. The fact that the last surrogate ended up with cancer and Shiloh has health issues that are chronic, she's a sick baby. And it's not just no cold or nothing like that. This child has ongoing chronic illnesses. Shamea has her family there helping her. They have a nanny. They have a nurse. With all the support system she has, she's still running around here. She crying every time you look up. She's always saying that she's stressed. She's overwhelmed. The way you're describing your husband is if he's this misogynistic, patriarchal, selfish man that don't give a dang about the previous surrogate that had cancer and about putting another surrogate's life in jeopardy, your life in jeopardy, and the jeopardy of an unborn child. That's the way it's coming off. Because you keep saying what Gerald wants. And I don't think Gerald got nothing to do with this. I think Gerald told you that he wanted a son, but I don't believe that Gerald is pushing you. I believe that you are trying to further secure yourself in y'all marriage by giving him a son because you are insecure. And when I said episodes ago that Shamea's slip was showing, girl, that slip is hanging and dragging on the floor. I'm so irritated, girl, because Shamea is a piece of work. And it irritates me, this whole Portia's the bad friend and I'm the good friend. Girl, no. There is no way you that opposite of Portia and y'all have been friends that long. I'm pretty sure you have been around when Portia has been on all of her foolishness. Just like at the dinner with the back in episode 15, I'm sorry y'all, when she was questioning the prime minister about did he have any children, was he single, how old were the children. She kept looking back at Portia like she was getting permission and asking him questions that Portia wanted her to ask. She lied to Kelli, talking about I was trying to hook you up, because Kelli called out. Kelli was like, no, you was trying to hook Portia up. No, I was trying to hook you up. Girl, you're lying. Girl, I'm sorry, I don't like her. And I know it's just a TV show. Women like Shamea, girl, Anywho, let me get off of her. So next up, we see Phaedra with her boys, Dylan and Aiden, and Dylan, aka Mr. President, is working on a pair of wide leg snakeskin cargo pants. Phaedra tells us that they were looking for some bell bottoms for him, and unfortunately they couldn't find his size. She suggested to him that she can get him a sewing machine because he's into fashion and he can sew his own pants. Now this boy is 11 years old and he has launched his own pant line. Kudos, mama. Kudos to Phaedra. Phaedra, you don't have many redeeming qualities, but it looks like you are a wonderful mom. So that is one redeeming quality we can say about you. Because you another one that's just not a good person. Your character traits, girl. Anyway, let me get on to what I was about to say. Phaedra, you creepy, you cringy. I'm gonna get to it. What she said to the producer, girl. It's just inappropriate and just out of pocket. Back to me praising you for being a good mama. I'm like, go Dylan, okay? Like, that warmed my heart. I was so happy to see that these two young black boys, and you can tell that they are close. And I pray that it stays that way. Dylan and Aiden. And so they were so cute. Phaedra was asking him what's his future plans with his company. He wants to get a warehouse to house his product. She asked Aiden what was his role going to be with helping his brother. I'll be his manager and financial advisor. He wants 10% of all the deals. Baby, Dylan was like, nah, bro. You can have 3%. And then he changed it. I guess he thought about it. No, you can have 2%. I love seeing these little boys hustle. That was very positive. That's the things that we want to see. The event that you guys had at the showroom, aka the vault, Phaedra reveals she's still working as a mortician. She's talking about she's still getting folks beautiful to go on up to glory. And out of nowhere, she can tell the producer she's a Reiki healer. I kid you not. Y'all heard it. She asked the producer if she's ever had a crystal in her vajayjay. I say, ma'am, what? Where did this conversation go? Like, what happened to Miss Proper Southern Belle? Girl, Phaedra has no couth and no filter. Just inappropriate. She gonna do something else inappropriate later on in the episode. Meanwhile, Kelli is deep in the mess, y'all. We see her leaving for court. She comes out of the court 4 hours later because, of course, they cannot have cameras in the courtroom. So we see them coming out. I believe it's her sister, the publicist, and a couple other people. They get inside the Sprinter, and she lets out a loud sigh, and then she was like, well, that was a disaster. Back over at her house, she and the publicist are talking. He offered her some wine. Shamia shows up. She comes in, and I'm trying to see what happened first. Did Angela call? I think she started talking to Shamia, telling Shamia that the judge gave them 4 hours to settle their finances, custody, and assets. And because they didn't resolve anything by 12 noon, the judge issued a continuance. And to top it off, her soon-to-be ex landed in jail for not paying child support. And then she tells Shamia, I'm still not divorced. Angela calls to check on her. She fills Angela in that she's still married and he went to jail. Angela, apologetic to her. And she's like, I'll talk to you later, girl. So she got off the phone with Angela. Shamia, girl, I'm sorry, y'all. I cannot take Shamia and Kelli playing in our face. Shamia says, what resonated with her was that day was a very big day, a very stressful day for her, and Angela called to check on her and see was she okay. Have you talked to Brit? Kelli says, no, she hasn't talked to Brit since Grenada. Girl, please. We all know that Shamia and Kelli been chatting about Brit behind the scenes and that they've been hanging out outside of filming with one another. And Shamia had just said that she was at court with Kelli and she left halfway through the proceedings. So you mean to tell me you was in court with Kelli, but you don't know that Kelli has not spoken to Brit since Grenada? Girl, if y'all don't get out of our face playing in our face like this. Kelli is in her confessional and she's disappointed that Brit hasn't even checked in. Basically, she ain't send no smoke signal. She ain't send no tweet. She ain't send no DM, no text, no call, no nothing. Kelli points out that she's been there for Brit through all the Kenya drama, and now Brit is not there for her when she needed her as a friend and when she needed her the most. Then we get a playback of the episode when Kelli went over and took Mike and Brit food and brought the IV, the lady there to give them they bad bitch minerals and all that stuff. So anyway, Kelli, this is what happens in fake friendships, girlfriend. Even though you threw Brit under the bus in Grenada, and you allowed Shamia to chastise her about the donation in front of everybody, you gotta know that Brit feel away. She let you know before y'all left that she needed you to show up for her. And this whole situation with the glam team, at that time we didn't know all the details. You and her are not on good terms. But see, that's the difference. If y'all were real friends, that wouldn't have mattered, because this is something important, and a real friend would address the other stuff with you later and still would have showed up for you for your final divorce hearing court date. But y'all not real friends. Y'all ain't fooling nobody. But I don't know why y'all come on TV pretending to be friends with people, play in our face like we silly or something with all of this foolishness, because we all know real friends don't do stuff like that. The same thing with Portia and Shamia. Shamia has been the friend of, but it just does not seem like that they had a good foundation. Because if they had a solid foundation, nobody would have been able to rock their friendship like that. Yeah. Then we get on over here to the chicken and waffle cook-off at Williams-Sonoma. So Kelli lets us know that she has been in partnership with Williams-Sonoma since 2019. She does pop-ups and cook-offs to them. She invited Angela, Drew, and Phaedra. She felt like when they were in Grenada, they were building a bond. She wants them to experience her and get to know her, and she wants to experience and get to know them. Angela asks how things are with Brit. I had to look at my notes, y'all. Angela asks how things are with Brit. Kelli says they haven't talked. Phaedra, you messy as hell. She's shocked. She turning all around. Aren't y'all best friends? Kelli insists that they are very, very good best friends. I ain't never heard that one before. Very, very good best friends. Okay, Kelli. She insists that she's focusing on herself. Girl, so Drew picked up on the BS. And her confessional, girl, something's off with the waffle mix. Come on, tell us what's going on, girl. Spill the tea. Girl, I say Drew a mess. So of course, Kelli, she just stays quiet and act like everything is all cool between her and Brit. The screen cuts over to Brit house. And we find out that Brit invited Portia and Cynthia over. In my opinion, she was trying to do damage control and stir the pot. Who knows at this point with that girl? You just never know what you're going to get from her. Because she be flip-flopping and one minute she cool, the next minute she not. In her confessional, Brit claims she's trying to build with the ladies. She's going to take Phaedra's advice. She wants to move forward. Girl, then why wasn't you at the reunion? And why are you filing intense lawsuits? This don't make no sense. Whoo, child. So anyway, y'all, Cynthia arrives first. Girl, y'all know Auntie Cyn, she gonna always be early. Then Portia arrives, shady as ever, in her confessional. Girl, I haven't slept since Grenada. When I heard Brit invited us over, oh my gosh, that was the most sacred invite I've ever received. Portia, if you don't stop, Brit, she serves up her charcuterie and champagne, trying to set up a cute little vibe. But baby, we all knew it wasn't about no doggone snacks. It was about the tea. Because she told Portia and Cynthia that she and Kelli are having issues outside the group. Kelli told her glam team not to work with Brit anymore. So Portia was like, why? What? And Kelli felt like that she was outshining her in Nashville. And she says that Kelli thought she was getting more of the looks or something like that. We love you, Auntie Cyn. But girl, you got to learn how to pick a side. Baby, Cynthia is forever Miss Neutral. That should need to be your nickname, Cynthia. Forever Miss Neutral. Because when I tell you Cynthia will not pick a side, girl, you got to pick a side. Anyway, she said, you both looked amazing. Portia, baby, she not letting it slide. So she asked, do you think your outfits were better than hers? Or that you were getting more of the looks, more of the attention? So Brit drops the bomb. I don't know, but the team you speak of that Kelli didn't want me using, they're now working with Shamia. When I tell y'all Portia's face, she saw the shade. She saw it for exactly what it was. And I have to say that I was proud of Portia. Portia claps back and she was like, are you being replaced? Because she expected to get a reaction out of Portia. And Portia was like, so are you being replaced? Since Shamia is working with the glam team now. And I say these ladies is a hot ass mess. I don't understand. I know it's good for us, y'all, but I don't understand how you can be successful and have this much bickering amongst a bunch of women. Shouldn't y'all be out traveling on yachts and stuff? And like, what is this? And Portia even said that when she first came to the Brit house and they first sat down, she was like, every time we meet up, it's always a bunch of bickering. I don't understand this. But it's good content for us. Anywho, y'all, Cynthia's eyes popped when Portia said to Brit, are you being replaced? Brit and her little smirk and smile, and the words of K. Michelle, girl, like she just shook the table, girl. That was her response. Brit keeps going. She tells Portia that Shamia shared her private texts between Shamia and Portia. Shamia shared those texts with Brit, and Brit claims to have seen all the texts. So she gives Portia some insight to let her know that she was telling the truth. But let's be real, y'all. Brit wasn't doing this out of sisterhood. She was not doing this because she cared about Portia. She was not doing this out of the kindness of her heart. Brit is messy. She meant to stir tension between Shamia and Portia all over again. Brit comes across as being vindictive and a manipulator. To Portia's credit, Portia stayed calm, and in her confessional, she clears it up. It wasn't her lawyer Brit was talking about in the text message that Shamia showed her. It was actually her therapist. And Portia goes on to say Shamia sharing her personal text message to share that with Brit was crossing the line. But she ain't let Brit know that. You can tell Brit was further being messy as hell and trying to stir up some shit, because she goes on to say, is that what a best friend should be doing? Trying to get Portia all worked up. But Portia gave her absolutely nothing, and I'm so proud that you did not. Portia, Cynthia points out, y'all made up. Portia reiterates that yes, huh, Shamia made up. She thought everything was good, but sounds like that has now been broken. She tells Brit, you do what's best for you. Period. No reaction, no drama. Kudos to you, Portia. Meanwhile, Brit's dog, Mimosa, who is so cute with her fluffy white self, baby, she must have got caught up in the energy. In my James Brown voice, Mimosa got the feeling. She started humping Portia's leg, like, let me add to this mess. Baby, y'all can't make this up. Mimosa was humping everything. She humped Portia's leg, she started humping Brit's leg, then she started humping the pillow. And this right here, y'all, is the pattern. Brit plays innocent role while throwing shade. Portia pretends to stay unbothered. Actually, I think Portia do be unbothered. Portia is so narcissistic. And you can tell most of the time that Portia just don't give a damn. She just don't care. And sometimes that can be good, but there are certain things you just should care about. And Portia just really seemed like she just, even later on, I don't know if she's built a wall. She has the ability to cry on cue, but at the same time, not show any emotion at all. Cynthia just come for the snacks, okay? She neutral. She not gonna take nobody's side. She gonna eat her snacks and she gonna mind her business, for the most part. Brit clearly wanted to plant a seed about Shamia knowing it would get back to the group. Brit thought she and Kelli were tight. But baby, once glam and attention entered the picture, it all fell apart. Egos and pride and all that. At this point, it's not even about who wore what. It's about power, image, and ego. And that's Brit's problem. See, Brit is one of them people, y'all, that she don't have her finances together. And that was obvious in Grenada. Girl, who brings 2 packs of Cottonelle, 12 equals 48, and a roll of paper towels? And then to lie and say that Mike was coming in this big truck to bring all this other stuff. Girl. It's a facade. Brit puts on, she like to buy expensive things, wear expensive things, but they have no financial stability. That's who Brit is. Kelli, on the other hand, like she said, she's been partnering with Williams-Sonoma. She has her Nanas and Waffles business. She, you know, appears to be about her business and taking care of her girls. But she still is Shamia's lapdog. Brit is salty, y'all, because she feels iced out by Kelli. Kelli is salty because it sounded like, did they say that Brit took Kelli's stylist? I'm gonna have to go back and see. But I think that's the narrative, that Brit took Kelli's stylist Paris, that Paris is now working with Brit. If that is true, it's only a matter of time before they fall out and he come out on social media and give us the real tea on who Brit Edie really is. But she's strategic. The way she slipped in that Shamia was using Kelli's team now, she knew exactly what she was doing. And Portia clocked it and kept it moving. Cynthia looked like she was caught in the middle of a storm she didn't sign up for. So by the end, Brit managed to stir the pot without breaking a sweat. The question is, for how long before this blows up even bigger? And just like that, the glam drama turned into another chapter in the book of fake friendships on this damn show. Now, y'all, let's talk about how Kelli's Chicken and Waffles cook-off went from brunch vibes to full-on scandal. So everything seemed fine until this random man. It was like that commercial, Popeye's commercial. It reminded me of Rest in Peace, the legend Paul Mooney girl. All them years we've been eating Popeye's chicken, but then she come out the back. Where she come from? Popeye's chicken, my good old Popeye's chicken, my Popeye's chicken. Where the hell did Marcus come from? Marcus, darling. So Marcus walks up, y'all. Jesus, take 2 weeks. Marcus walks up to Angela. I know your husband. I need to speak to you in private. Angela looking at him like, who are you and where he come from? Who is you? He says that Charles has been to his restaurant, girl. Now, you know, Drew turned around so fast. And Phaedra was over there ear hustling like it was her job and at the same time pretending like she wasn't listening. Marcus tell Angela, he said it was all mysterious, like I might know something about your husband that you don't know. How you know this lady husband better than she do? Nerve of some people. Angela better than me. It was very classy that she did not feed into that, but I don't know if I'd have been able to hold my mule. Okay, in the words of Shirley Caesar, hold my mule. I'm sorry. I would have been like shouting John on top of his head. Drew turned around and was like, oh wow, do you know him? He was sitting over there acting all innocent. Like, girl, what was that about? Girl, you was loving every second of that. Because you come on talking about you didn't know that Charles and Angela was married. Well, ma'am, do the math. If you knew Charles 10 years ago and Angela and Charles have only been married for 8 years, then you wouldn't have known he was married, dummy. That's one of them situations my grandma used to always say, some people so smart till they dumb. Phaedra, that was you in this particular situation. You was trying to be so smart till you dumb. You was trying to spill some tea and you sounded stupid. So he walks away from them. Kelli comes over, and what is up with Kelli? Because it was like she felt some kind of way that the ladies were complimenting Charles Banana Foster. She felt some way about that. Angela was like, it's a tie, it's a tie. So anyway, she make a toast to Charles. She told them she was going to go toast with the guests and she would come back and toast with them. She goes over to toast, but Marcus can't help himself. He ended up over there where Kelli was toasting with the other guests. And he jumps in. I got a cheers for us if your name's Angela and your husband's cheating on you. I say, baby, the audacity. I don't know if Charles heard and he pretended like he didn't hear, because they was mighty close. Anywho, Charles didn't react. Kelli immediately was flabbergasted. She was just taken aback. She was like, oh no, we are not doing that in here. So she calls over her security and she was like, get him out of here, to Kenny. And Kenny wasted no time. They escorted Mr. Cheers right on up out the door. Kelli made it crystal clear that she doesn't know this man and disrespect will not be tolerated at her event. She basically was saying, even though me and Angela are not that tight, I would never allow disrespect. I would never allow something like that. Later on, Angela shares with the group of ladies she and Charles did their own digging, and they found that somebody paid Marcus to do that. Now, most people probably was thinking that it was Brit. They might even thought it was Portia. I'm hearing people saying they think it's producing. I think it was Phaedra. After what Phaedra did to Candy and Portia, Phaedra is capable of anything. And it was the way her eyes were shifting at that seat at that table when Marcus was talking to Angela. Now, I could be wrong. This is all alleged. Angela mentions they know people that don't play about her and Charles. So the producer asked her if they got ties to the mob. I'm like, for one, you don't ask nobody nothing like that, especially on camera. And for two, why would you think Angela would answer that? But Angela answered and she said, no, we ain't got no ties to no mob. We just have people that care about us. Meanwhile, Phaedra wasted no time. The second she hit that parking lot, baby, I was hoping one of them doggone heels would have broke on her. God forgive me. But that's how quick she was trying to get to that doggone parking lot. She was on the phone giving Portia the rundown like she was on CNN. Do you hear me? She gets in the car and she even had a one-liner ready. Girl, hold on to your panties. We at Strawberry Shortcake's cooking debut, and some man comes up and had a word for Angela. And he said, your husband is cheating on you. Baby, Phaedra couldn't wait to spill that tea. And the reaction that Portia, Cynthia was shocked. But Brit, with her manipulative vindictive, that's why I don't like her. She was reveling in that. Her whole facial expression. Cynthia was genuinely surprised. Like, what the hell is going on? Fast forward to Phaedra's black glove affair. We almost done with this, y'all. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Now, why did Miss Southern Belle show up with her crack out? Then trying to juggle and mess with Kelli boobs and calling the girl a garden gnome and Tinkerbell. And now I think on this episode, she talking about she was like a little bite-sized brownie or something like that. I'm like, girl, what is wrong with Phaedra? She says, girl, if you a closeted lesbian, come on out the closet, girl. We don't care. But please stop being inappropriate with everybody. Girl, touching all on people's bodies. And Angela walk in, let me see your booty. She was all on Angela so bad that Cynthia had to ask her, are we the models? Something ain't right with that lady. I'm telling y'all, she gives me madam energy. She had been to put something in your drink and brought you over for a man to do God knows what. Girl, she ain't right. I'm sorry. Allegedly. Alleged. Oh, Lord. Anyway, when Kelli walked in, Phaedra joked that Kelli was serving Lil' Kim, but it was just giving cringy. It wasn't funny. Y'all, Brit and her bob arrives at the event, and that bob was given. I got to say, Brit looked good, and she knew she looked good. She was on 10 and came in for some drama and to work on Kelli's nerves. So she speaks to Kelli 3 times. Kelli ignores her every single time. On the 3rd try, Brit smirks. Hi, Kelli. Kelli didn't say nothing. Hi, Kelli. Hi, Kelli. Kelli was like, and she's like, Kelli ignored her. The energy she was giving was like, yes, ma'am, your glam team dressed me and I look better than you. She came in looking to try to taunt Kelli. Kelli in her confessional, she is pissed Cynthia because Kelli is firecracked and she ready to pop off. She said that Brit couldn't even send flowers or check on her during her divorce mess. Also, she didn't check on me nor my girls. Okay? Kelli, you mad that this fallout is all over glam, but really it's because y'all friendship was fake from the start. Brit, in my opinion, came on this show with the plan to stir drama, and I believe allegedly that she knew she didn't have nothing to bring to the table. Part of me kind of feel like that Brit came on here with the intention of possibly suing the network because she needs money. This is alleged. I don't know, it's just a vibe I get from her. This whole, it's like you cannot be that dense. The way she created this whole situation with Kenya in her head, Kenya wasn't doing anything to Brit. She really wasn't. She was really trying to be cordial and really get to know them. Like Queen Mother. That's what Kenya was trying to give. Brit made up this whole beef in her head. And I'm wondering how much of that was made up because her and Mike give straight up scammer. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I could be right. Her not coming to the reunion, this intent to sue, just this whole situation. And if you knew that that wasn't you in the pictures that Kenya showed, why would you carry the way that you carried this entire season? Like, none of this makes any sense, y'all. I'm sorry. They must think we boo-boo the fool. Anyway, y'all, the tension keeps building. Angela mentions that they need to get security. And then Kelli says, yeah, after what happened in my event, I think y'all do need security. So Shamia was acting like Kelli didn't tell her. Now, of course, Cynthia knew because Phaedra called them. But I'm pretty sure that Kelli told Shamia what the hell happened at her event with Angela. But again, they play in our face. She gonna act like Shamia sits there and act like she didn't know. You can tell the difference because later on, we're going to be able to tell that Shamia actually didn't know some information. And you can tell the difference in her facial expression. Shamia's standing there all attentive, but we all know that Kelli already filled her in. So Brit walks around, baby. She is giving looks, knowing all eyes on her. She in her confession talking about she disappointed in Kelli and claims that if Kelli had come to her, you know, if Kelli had come to me and was honest about feeling some type of way over the glam team, then we could have talked about it. But now, she's just a hater. Y'all, why do they keep playing with Drew? What is Phaedra's issue with Drew and locking Drew out like that? But baby, when I tell y'all the funny part about this, Drew did not give a damn. Okay, Drew made herself comfortable outside. Drew met a cute police officer girl. Drew was on that balcony and Drew said, baby, the party is out here. As she was sitting there eating her chicken wing. And when I say she was eating it, Drew ate that chicken wing to the bone, to the gristle, baby. Drew was outside enjoying herself with them chicken wings like it was nothing. Inside, Cynthia was clocking the mess, saying it's wild that man showed up at Kelli's event to stir drama. What she said was that he took time out of his busy day to come to little old Kelli's to stir up drama. Kelli clearly is over Brit. She howls across the room. I wonder who paid him. Maybe the people that don't show up. Brit misses the shade. Kelli saying that Brit didn't show up for her. That's why she said that. Brit says, let me look here, y'all. Hold on just a second. Wait. Oh, that's what it was. Brit says, we were all at my house. And then Kelli shoots back. She was talking to Cynthia. She was like, oh, if she let you in? Cynthia said, and Portia. Brit claps back at Kelli, you can address me. I know that's hard for you. And Kelli was like, it's not hard. And Brit says, seems like it is. Don't be passive aggressive. Kelli say, I'm not passive, I'm aggressive. So Brit steps up and moves closer to Kelli. And she was like, I've never seen you aggressive. Kelli say, don't play with me, Brit. Don't play with me. Brit continues to taunt Kelli. Oh, you the big bad wolf. Kelli, I'm the mighty wolf. Girl, I was like, what the hell is this? Cynthia squeezes in between the two of them. Like I said, somebody said that Brit gives basketball wives love and hip hop energy. That's what she need to go on over there. You too ratchet for the housewives. I know they have their ratchet moments, but girl, for somebody talking about classy, classy, classy. Girl, you so damn ratchet, it's ridiculous. Kelli, what did Brit called Kelli insecure. Kelli was like, insecure? But you want my whole team. And then let me tell y'all what's really going on. The team you begged me to use because you always need a sidekick. Phaedra tries to block Kelli, but Kelli snaps. She in Phaedra's face. Brit is behind Phaedra. Everybody thought she was talking about Mike, but that's not who she was talking to. She was looking directly at Phaedra. You better talk to your pill-popping roommate. And Brit in her confession, if you don't give me no respect and I don't have no respect for you, she gonna lay out the whole clip. And she takes it too far. She's telling Kelli, your stylist say you look a mess, and no work unless you want to talk about the babies you no longer have. Go to the when you go to the doctor to see the doctor and you want to terminate a pregnancy. She accused Kelli of doing that. And Kelli explodes, baby. She called Brit a hoe. She storms out. She was just yelling, "You's a hoe." Girl, so then this part took me out. When I tell you I grinned, because this is one of my favorite movies, girl. Because Kelli called her a hoe. She stormed out and she told her she wanted to be her. Girl, Brit says, "Nobody wants to be you, you little hobbit." Phaedra, she goes outside to calm Kelli down. Anyway, y'all, later they go shopping. They had some cute, what's that, faux furs there, but they was pricey as hell. They had one for like $700, one for like $1,400. I was like, ooh. So Phaedra shares with the group, oh, that's what it was when I was talking about that Portia was not emotional. While Phaedra was getting ready to go to the Black Glove event, she got a FaceTime from Portia. Portia shares with her, rest in peace to Lundy. She was on Portia's Family Matters, and she does seem like she's very sweet. So young, 34 years old. When Portia shared that with Phaedra, like I said, Portia tends to cry on cue, like when she's being called out for her bad behavior. Other than that, it's like Portia shows no emotion. So anyway, like I said, they go shopping, they get the faux furs. That's what I was talking about. So in the process of Brit and Kelli going back and forth, before they was getting ready to, Phaedra said they was about to lock the doors. This was before Drew showed up. As Drew was walking up, they were inside talking. And they asked where was Portia and Drew. Phaedra mentioned that Drew was in traffic and Portia was not going to be able to make it, and that she would tell them why later. After shopping, Phaedra's son's Dylan modeled his cargo snakeskin pants, and all the models came out in their furs. After the whole event, at the ending of it, they sat down and Phaedra announces to the ladies that Lundy passed away. That's why Portia wasn't there. Shamia's face, y'all, she didn't have a clue. When Phaedra told them Portia was not going to be there, go back and look. Shamia had no clue what was going on. Go back and look. She had no clue. Anyway, y'all, the tears between her and Phaedra was just too rehearsed for me. Now, being that Shamia has known her and Portia had a long-standing friendship, I'm pretty sure that she knows Lundy. I don't know how much Phaedra knows Lundy. But the way that they just both you could tell Cynthia was caring and genuinely shocked. She didn't break down crying, but you could tell it was a genuine like, oh my gosh, she's so sweet. It was genuine concern. Phaedra and Shamia, y'all just too performative for me. I'm sorry. Make it make sense, y'all. These women always talk about keeping it classy at these events because Phaedra was outside telling Kelli, you got $10,000 boots on and this is a peaceful environment. Girl, just like Portia said, every time y'all meet up is bickering. But y'all bring drama everywhere y'all go. From Marcus, Bold Toast, to Phaedra playing operator and Brit shredding for attention at this doggone event. This episode was pure mess from start to finish, and we do love that. Y'all should have did this episode early in the season, actually. Thank y'all for tuning in and kicking it with me. This is Ty Lane with Ty Lane Ducksworth Reviews. And until next time, I'm out.